Look at the obesity statistics. You talked about this: childhood, adolescent obesity, rates of autism, rates of cancers, rates of any chronic disease are through the roof. But if you just look at obesity, that story is very telling. Obesity rates are going through the roof, right? But we're not necessarily eating enough calories to account for that. So there's got to be something else going on.
Yeah.
And I think Bobby has said this, and he said it very well. Like, we are being poisoned.
Yes.
And I think that I hope that this report, I think it will, is shining a light, is really putting a light into the shadows that, hey, this isn't just, because I think this calories narrative is very insidious.
Yeah.
And people just think, oh, I'm fat because I'm eating too many calories, or I'm eating too much food, or I'm unhealthy because I ate too much food. And that might have contributed.
Right.
But there are two parts of that I think are really concerning here. And the first is that I think a lot of that food is poisonous, like you're saying, and the things that you've been beating the drum about: food dyes, additives, preservatives, the glyphosate, the pesticides. I really believe this soup, in a cumulative way, in a way that's never been studied, is poisoning us. And that it's magnifying the effect of the excess calories. And then secondarily, I think that these food additives are also making us hungry in some other way, right? They're sabotaging our society.
Right.
So
I mean, when PepsiCo has a robot that mimics human taste buds, how do we stand a chance? How do human beings stand a chance against that, right? Like, how are we going to stop eating if they're engineering our food and using the best forms of science to try to like hijack our entire brain? Like, how do we stand a chance? And so, like, if Americans learn the truth about why ultra processed foods are unhealthy for them and why 70% of our diet is not okay,
right.
to be ultra processed food, especially for our children.
Right.
That will have tremendous impact. It'll spawn incredible innovation, I think, at the grocery store. And I think this is where we started this conversation about: how do you travel? How do you go about your lifestyle and live this whole real foods lifestyle when everything at every turn is being poisoned against you? And this is the world that I want to create, and I know that you want to create, that we can go into the White House and we can go down into the cafeteria, right? And we can pick something to eat that's healthy for us. We shouldn't have to sit there and deliberate and make like the worst decision just because we're hungry, right? And the same goes for when you're in airports and when you're at school and when you're at the university, when kids are going to college. I mean, all of the things that I think about what my kids are about to embark on as they get older, I cringe. Because I've been able to like control their little bubble so far, like their Montessori bubble where they only allow fruits and vegetables for snack, and I can make their lunch. But like, what happens when they go out on their own and they're exposed to all of this, right?
And I feel like there is an underlying psyop here. And maybe it's not a real psyop, maybe it is. The calories idea. You know, I just think this is an insidious notion that has been foisted upon us. And this is Weight Watchers. And there are so many incarnations of this.
I fell victim to it. You know, I thought, oh, I can go to my boss's desk and eat Twizzlers because they were only 1 point. I had no idea I was putting petroleum, crude tar, ingredients in my body and high fructose corn syrup, you know? And I mean, of course, no wonder I could never get off the weight loss bandwagon and had to go on all these random diets. I mean, no wonder I struggled through that, because I wasn't paying attention to ingredients. I wasn't looking at what was actually in that Twizzler.
I will say this again, I've said it before, I don't think humans can effectively, consistently lose weight by counting calories. It doesn't work. It just fails. And it fails because it plays into I think this is the psyop. It plays into these agribusiness.
Yeah, 100-calorie packs, you know, the lean cuisines.
You can eat 100 calories of Oreos. It's okay.
Yeah.
How is it going to make you hungrier later?
Yes, yes. And this is why Americans are the endless train of yo-yo dieting, and why they are suffering so badly, and they're still developing the chronic diseases, even though they might be losing weight for a part of time, but then they gain it right back.
That's the problem.
It's so sad. And people are constantly in this struggle and they're suffering.
Yeah. This is the roller coaster. I think this is the problem, and this is what we need to affect change in from a paradigm perspective. That if humans can understand, and I hope that this report will be the beginning of that. I think it's super exciting where we are. That like we will find this place where humans understand the quality of the food is king.
Yes.
And you don't have to be perfect all the time, but if you just improve food quality, and the work that you're doing, you know, to make more quality food available by getting these additives out is critical. But I think it's so simple for people. Like, eat more quality food more of the time and you'll do well. Forget about calories. You cannot eat 100 calories of Oreos and think that's the same as 100 calories of carrots, chia pudding, or a steak. It just doesn't work that way. End of story.